Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. A very busy Monday with Chappelle, the inauguration, and the TikTok ban. Mark Norman tweeted, "Who knew the first immigrant to get kicked out would be a Chinese app?" Dave Chappelle hosted Saturday Night Live. I think it was the best episode of the season easily for his monologue, which was excellent, which I'll break down, and for one sketch in particular. Neither here nor there. He tells the crowd that Lorne Michaels had asked him to host the first episode after the election, but he said no because things are going good. I finished my Netflix deal. I have all this money and stuff.
It started in October. Lorne Michaels called me, and he asked me to do Saturday Night Live, the first episode after the election. And I was like, nah, man, I'm cool.
Lorne kept pushing. I'll let Dave explain here.
And then the dates started rolling around, and in December, he started calling me again. And again, I was like, nah, man, I want to do it. And this goes on for like weeks and weeks. And then finally, I go, you know what? I could just get rid of all these old Trump jokes and start fresh. I said, you know what? I'll do it. Thank you. Here we all are. The moment I said yes, L.A. burst into flames.
Dave got off a good joke about the L.A. wildfires.
And I watch these fire videos and I read the comment sections and everyone's like, yeah, it serves these celebrities right. I hope their houses burn down. And you see that? That right there? That's why I hate poor people.
Dave then turned his attention to the Diddy accusations.
My friends asked me, they say, Dave, did you know anything about those freak-off parties? And I'd be like, nah, man. I didn't know anything about the freak-off. And they all look at me like. And they'd be like, well, how all these people you know was at the freak-off, but you're the only one that wasn't at the freak-off? And I thought about it for a minute. I said, oh, my God. I'm ugly.
Nice tag here for that joke.
A tough way to find that out. Can you imagine if you were me reading a newspaper and found out everyone in Hollywood had an orgy behind your back? Like, none of y'all called me?
And at the end, Dave got serious and addressed Donald Trump.
Presidency is no place for petty people. So Donald Trump, I know you watch the show. Man, remember, whether people voted for you or not, they're all counting on you. Whether they like you or not, they're all counting on you. The whole world is counting on you. And I mean this when I say this. Good luck. Please do better next time. Please, all of us, do better next time. Do not forget your humanity, and please have empathy for displaced people, whether they're in the Palisades or Palestine. Thank you very much, and good night.
Really funny sketch. It had me laughing out loud. Chappelle plays a dad whose family receives an alert to evacuate because of the impending fires. Spoilers on the sketch. Dave takes a sledgehammer and starts retrieving $500,000 in cash he had hidden in a wall. Things escalate. Eventually, we find out that something is hidden in the dog. A very, very funny scene, which had me laughing out loud. Go seek that sketch out online if you have not seen it. Very, very funny. Big college football game tonight. Shane Gillis did a commercial for Under Armour in which Shane is rooting for Notre Dame. Let's listen.
Hey, God. It's me, Shane. I haven't been here in a while, but I have a pretty big prayer for you. Notre Dame's in the national championship on Monday. I know you know, because you've been with us the whole time. A couple weeks ago, that field goal, I know you had a lot going on, so that was pretty chill. You took time to help us with that. I should also say I have not bet on any of these games. All right, I half bet, but going forward, if Notre Dame wins, thou will not bet on games for a month, a couple weeks. We'll probably bet on Sunday. Come on, God, I know you can help us. Trucking dude, pick sixes everywhere. Have a couple fumble-rooskies. Just please let Notre Dame win a national championship.
What are you praying for?
Praying for Notre Dame. What are you praying for?
Say Notre Dame.
All right, cool. Shh. What?
Did you go to Notre Dame?
Yeah, I went to Notre Dame.
Oh.
I'm sorry, that was a lot I got. No, I didn't go to Notre Dame. Did you?
No, my uncle did.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, shh.
Shh.
Shh. Shh. Go Irish.
Go Irish.
That was a lot of fun. Nikki Glaser's shows in Milwaukee have been moved to a bigger venue. Nikki is white hot right now. Originally set to perform at the Riverside Theater, Nikki will now headline the Miller High Life Theater in May. Previously sold Riverside Theater tickets will be exchanged for new tickets in similar locations. Capacity at the Riverside Theater, 2,450, according to the interwebs. Capacity at the Miller High Life Theater, 4,086. I bet you could sell even more than that right now. Bill Maher weighed in on the fires. On his show Real Time, Bill said, "Now, is wokeness the main reason for the fires? Of course not. But it's also not wrong to associate some of the unforced errors our government made with the things normies see as hallmarks of uber-progressive politics, questionable budget priorities, high taxes that get you nothing, making everything about identity politics, virtue signaling overseas instead of tending to the nuts and bolts at home." This a reference to Mayor Karen Bass visiting Ghana. Mark continued, "The government's job is to protect us from crime, violence, theft, fire. I'm not saying Alabama would have done better with fires by fighting them with prayer in school, but look me in the eyes and tell me anyone could have done worse. We just got our ass kicked by a fire, something Neanderthals fought to a tie. We may not be able to do much about the weather, but we do need a better plan for putting out a burning city than waiting for rain." A lot of Democrats in this one-party state this week went right to "don't blame politicians. You can't do anything about the wind," which is exactly half true. The wind part, yes, fire is a tough fight out here. And yes, global warming absolutely makes it worse, but that's largely out of our control. What are we going to do? Pass a ballot measure to make sure Chinese stop burning coal? The Washington Post caught up on the LA comedy scene. They focused on the Vermont Hollywood, about 10 miles east and southwest of two of the fires. The club is aiming to operate normally. Sandy Savis is the venue's general manager, and Sandy says they've been searching for last-minute replacements after performers and sponsors have canceled because of the fires. Savis says they're allocating about 12% of their proceeds to supplies for fire victims. Savis told the Washington Post, "It's a horrible thing to party while, the rest of the city's suffering, and we do feel there's a sense of guilt about it, but at the same time, we understand we have employees. The show must go on, and people just need an escape, and we're happy to provide that for them." Jam in the Van said that they stopped promoting their events on social media. Jake Coulter is the venue's co-founder and said all messaging kind of shifted to what you can do to help the fires. We didn't feel it was right to message about, hey, buy tickets to this. During the week, he said he saw other venues promoting events on social media, so they started advertising again, starting with a comedy show last Wednesday. Fewer people came to the show than usual. Jam in the Van is hosting another comedy show where 20% of ticket sales will go to Pasadena Humane, a local shelter that has taken in hundreds of animals. Jake Coulter says if the fallout from the fires is that nobody goes out and supports small businesses, restaurants, venues, and stuff like that, then the suffering just keeps expanding. Flappers in Burbank organized a free show with Jay Leno on January 10th. Some people criticized them on social media. One person on social said guests could use their alcohol to put out the fires. Another photoshopped the word flappers over a burning house. Owner Barbara Holiday said she experienced a weird sense of guilt, but the club felt normal for a few hours as 130 people visited. I spent some time over the weekend catching up on the comedy specials. My wife came to me and she's like, hey, you want to watch that Nate guy? So Nate has broken through all the way to my wife knowing his first name anyway, and she wanting to watch it. I liked it a lot. Let me go back and look at my 2024 rankings and I'm doing this on the fly. Let's see. So for 2024, I had Brady, Attell, Triumph, Ronnie Chang, David Cross, Adomian, Dusty Slay. It's probably on par with Dusty Slay. No, Kyle Kinane had that 10-minute thing. Maybe not as good as Kinane, better than Rife. So I'll make the number 8.5 special of 2024. I don't want to bog down in that. The list is the list. New year, new list. Okay, right now I have as the number one comedy special of the year, Roy Wood Jr.'s Lonely Flowers. I like the material way better than the trailer. Whoever put that trailer together, I would fire you. You're terrible at putting together trailers. Roy Wood Jr.'s special is really funny. As I have started to form the best of 25 list, I'm starting with 3 categories: best, watchable, and not on list. I have Roy in the middle tier, so I think by the end of the year it won't make my top tier. And I say that, it's funny, but it's watchable. It's not next level. It's not like, oh my goodness, I can't believe he really brought it. It's a nice, solid special. So right now, number 1, by the end of the year, it'll probably be like number 21. Also entertaining, Ari Shaffir's America's Sweetheart. Nice, solid set. I laughed quite a few times. Little too long. At some point, my brain kicks in and goes, all right, I've had enough of this. How much left? And there was still 45 minutes left. I can't. That's more about me than the artist, because I had the same issue with Gabriel Iglesias' special Legend of Fluffy. As I wrote to myself, perfectly fine, enjoying it. At some point, I was like, how much left? And there was still an hour left. If there had been a half hour left, I absolutely would have finished it. But another hour, that's just like homework to me. So again, this is about me. This is my issue. I have comedy ADD. I can't stay with these things all that long. I get a little restless. All 3 of those specials, they are good. They will make the end of the year list, but they will make that middle tier. So if you want a ranking right now, Roy, Ari, Gabe, that's the entire list for right now. Ready, Steady, Cut reviewed the specials, and they wrote, in many ways, Shaffir is the moral and performative opposite of someone like Gabriel Iglesias, whose latest Netflix special brought in this still young year. There's a feeling of whiplash in going from one to the other. All the stuff that Gabe wouldn't talk about is mentioned one after another by Shaffir, who reels through a litany of risky subjects like he's trying to fill a quota. That's the point, though. Despite the subject choices, America's Sweetheart, that's Ari's special, isn't trying to be especially offensive or edgy. The underlying theme of everything having a silver lining just ends up being an excuse to riff, usually harmlessly, on the topics people tend to avoid out of fear. Everything is treated the same. This is a bad thing, but it's a decent way to frame the jokes. There's an absurdist quality to it, and it's a good excuse to touch on a lot of different areas in a way that doesn't feel overly scattershot. Roy Wood Jr. explained to The Wrap, I decided to start off his Hulu comedy special, Lonely Flowers, with a despairing statement about modern society's lack of connection. Roy said, I enjoy the idea of starting with a joke before saying hello, but I also kind of wanted to almost state the thesis of the paper before presenting my work. We ain't gonna make it. I feel like if we remain in the same state that we're in as a society, we're not gonna make it. It's only gonna get worse. So let me start with a comedic declaration of pessimism just to make this horribly pessimistic declaration and then hopefully bring it back to a conversation about connection and togetherness. That was kind of the goal. Why the title? We're the lonely flowers. Like a flower by itself is one of the saddest things you can see, but a group of flowers together is one of the most beautiful things you can see. We're all lonely, but man, if we came together and we got more connected, we'd be so much better off. While I had him, they asked him about The Daily Show, and he said, I'd never close the door on any opportunity that gives me growth, which is part of why I accepted the CNN job. It's an opportunity to still have a conversation at the time during an election. I think at the end of the day, I just wanted an opportunity to do something a little different, and I felt like the best opportunity for that was going to come with leaving. And if the best opportunity with that comes with returning, then it's fair to consider, but I'm very, very happy at CNN. And the thing I love about what we're doing at CNN is that it feels like a deviation from what they do the other 6 nights of the week on that network. I mentioned yesterday that I would talk about Bill Burr a little more today. I'm going to bump that to tomorrow as we're quite long here. If you like the Frasier revival on Paramount Plus, it's over, 2 seasons and done. Something's going on with Apple TV's The Completely Made Up Adventures of Dick Turpin. Production has ceased on season 2. Various news reports are curious about the behavior of Noel Fielding. The Daily Mail writes concern is rising for Noel after he abruptly pulled out of filming. A spokesperson for the comedian told Mail Online, this is a private and confidential matter regarding our client's health. We're saddened by the decision to cease production, but we can't make any further comment on the matter. A source close to the show told The Times, Noel has said that he can't film anymore, and so there was no choice but to stop. It's not a decision that was taken lightly, and they wouldn't have gone to this extreme if every possible solution hadn't been exhausted. People have been very concerned about Noel's well-being and given him time to recover, but there are also significant repercussions. Some people are furious. So we'll see what happened there and what led Apple to decide to stop production of the show. Definitely interesting. Big inauguration today from a comedy standpoint. Bill Maher had said he's not going to pre-hate anything and he'll hope for the best. He told CNN, I'm not going to chase every rabbit down the hole like I did the first term. He's a kooky guy. He says a lot of kooky things and I'm just not going to pre-hate anything. I'm just going to hope for the best. And then when something serious happens, I'll comment on that. A new biography, Lorne, the man who invented Saturday Night Live, is coming out. Susan Morrison writes, after the 2016 election, the SNL cast and writers felt shame and anger. Many of them believed that SNL bore some responsibility for Trump's win. When Michaels had booked Trump to host in 2015, he, like most people, considered the candidacy a big joke, but it was a lucrative joke. Trump was a ratings magnet. People liked to watch him either in spite of or because of his noxiousness. Michaels felt part of the job was to keep SNL balanced. He urged writers and performers to mock candidates of all stripes. Many on the staff felt SNL was too soft on Trump. Michael sometimes asked writers to tone down the harsher sketches. At one story meeting, according to Morrison, Tim Robinson smacked the table and said, "Lorne has lost his mind, and someone needs to shoot him in the back of the head." Yikes. Morrison says that Trump was tickled that Alec Baldwin would play him on SNL, but once the season started, Trump soured on the impression. Morrison writes, "Those who feel the show had gone criminally soft on Trump felt confused and annoyed." Michaels told them, "We did our best." Michaels reminded the group that half the country had voted for Trump, and we have a job to do. That's your comedy news for today. If you enjoy the program, tell a friend about it. They might like it too. Join us in the Facebook group, Daily Comedy News Podcast Group. See you tomorrow.